Hello, welcome back to another barn vlog. I was so excited to get to the barn today and be able to get out to the arena, swing a leg over Diesel, and go for a ride, tinker with the barrels again, because we are full-blown barrel racer mode at this point. I'm feeling good as a rider. I think Diesel's feeling good as a horse. We aren't dealing with any soreness issues in his feet anymore, so that's good. So it's kind of full steam ahead. So as always, before any ride, I always pick out all four of my horse's feet just to make sure, especially with Diesel because he has been having some issues with his feet. I just want to make sure there's nothing that's popped up. He doesn't have anything that could be causing any kind of ouchy situation. And Diesel, for a while there, I was having some issues with picking up his feet, but he's gotten substantially better. I think it's just repetition. For those of you who don't know, I ride in a 5-star saddle pad, which I've had for several years, and it's hardly showing anywhere at all. But I mean, that's what you get when you spend good money. You get the good quality. And for the past, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks at this point, I've been riding once again in my Martin barrel saddle. I love this saddle so much. It feels good to be back in that saddle. And because we are starting to do a bit more athletic-y things, I've started to be a bit more consistent with putting leg protection on Diesel. I always, assuming it's not muddy, I am always putting bell boots on him for sure. I've had a horse overreach before and it's not a fun situation. So we do the bell boot thing. And for today's ride, I also put on what are called splint boots just to protect him a bit. And we're all tacked up and ready to ride. I am still using my correction bit. I'm thinking I'm going to change that, but for now, that is what we are riding in. When I went to a reining clinic 2 years ago, it was recommended to me that I ride him in a correction bit. I do like riding him better in this than a snaffle, just because I feel like it helps a lot with getting a bit of collection from Diesel, but I'm a little bit uncertain as to whether or not it's the best option for barrel racing. I will have to do a little bit of research because, to be honest, I am not the most knowledgeable when it comes to bits. I know the bits that I have, and that's about it. So we will ride in this for the time being and kind of see where my research leads us. After I got Diesel nice and warmed up, I did set up what I call just the 3-barrel drill, or whatever you want to do. So you have 3 barrels set up in a triangle pattern, and you go around the barrels all in the same direction. So to start, I was going to the right first, which is, as I'm finding out, is right now it tends to be Diesel's better side. I feel like I have a lot of work going to the left with him, which hopefully will get figured out sooner than later. Going to the right, he seems to be a lot better, and I also have, just because of that, I do feel a bit more confident on him going to the right. But this is definitely a good drill to do on your horse because it does mimic the pattern to a certain extent, but it takes the advanced move of a flying lead change between first and second out of the picture. So we're just staying on the same lead and just going around and around and around and around, because that is what you do on a barrel horse. You just go around and around and around. Oh, you done good, Chachi. You done good. Oh, it's hot. For a saddle, highly recommend a Martin. I've had this Martin for years. Love it, love it. Take off the booties. So for those of you who aren't aware and not sponsored, wish I was sponsored. So I ride in a Martin barrel saddle. Leg protection I use is Classic Equine. Both of those brands are under the same, hi buddy, are under the same like umbrella corporation, which is Equibrand. So they also have Classic ropes. I'm not sure what else, but Classic Equine I've loved for a very long time. These boots are ancient. And yeah, my Martin saddle I love. I currently ride it with a 5-star pad, but I'm toying with buying a new pad, and I'm gonna do some research. I might buy a classic pad, we'll kind of see. Cinch I'm wearing right now is, I honestly just bought it from my feed store. I don't even know if, buddy, I don't know if it has a brand or not. Hello. Hello, you're a sweetheart. He was so good today. So good. I'm pretty sure this shirt that I'm wearing, it's Under Armour. I'm pretty sure it's Heat Gear. So I'm a little sweaty right now. I just pulled out the first long sleeve shirt that I saw because I don't want to get sunburnt. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Heat Gear because I am very hot. Thanks for the ride, bud. Love you. See you later. If you've been following along, you've probably noticed that the last few videos that I've put out are barrel racing related. And that is because I've given myself permission to go back to that sport because I love it. I love barrel racing. I love it. And we've gone back to it. And we went to church this morning, and instead of like paying attention to the readings or listening to Father's homily like a good Catholic should be, I was thinking about how excited I was to get back home, get to the barn, and get on my horse. And if you've been following along, that is a 180-degree difference from where I was like a month ago. A month ago, I was not riding. I was doing groundwork with Diesel all the time and just could hardly drag my butt to the barn. I just did not want to be here, had zero motivation for it. And now that I've switched to being like, we're gonna barrel race, we're gonna do this. I have a reining horse, but he's young and athletic, it's fine, it's fine. I am so excited. Like now it's like, I don't wanna get off my horse. I just wanna be here, I wanna ride him, like rain or shine, I wanna be out here. And I don't know if you could tell, I'm just so smiley. It makes me so happy that I'm finally back at a place like that. I'm not gonna lie though, I am super hesitant about it all. Or maybe nervous. For those of you who do not know, I have a rocky past with barrel racing. I struggled a lot with confidence, and you know, I had a little bit of success, but not as much as I had hoped. And it was really hard. I struggled a lot. I pushed and I pushed and I pushed, and it was just, I felt like a lot of times I was just pushing myself up against a brick wall, and it came to a point where I was like, hey, this is insanity. You need to figure something else out. But at the end of the day, I love barrel racing. I love it. And my perspective was like, you know, life is short. I don't have kids. I have a very busy professional career and like a husband and a place to take care of. Like I do have responsibilities, but I also have the luxury to have a lot of my own time and the money and the ability to be able to pursue whatever I want to with my horses. And like, if in my heart I want to barrel race, like I want to do that, then I shouldn't hold myself back from doing that, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. And so I was like, okay, if you want to be a barrel racer, like we're gonna do this thing. But some things need to change. Everyone knows that quote. I think it's from Albert Einstein. It was like, insanity, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And while I did try different things in the past, like I tried different instructors and things like that, for the most part, I was just, trying to do the same thing over and over again, and just, it wasn't working. So coming into barrel racing now, I'm like, things need to be different. One big thing that is already different is the fact that I am on diesel, I am not on junior. And I can already tell now that diesel is going to have a completely different feel as a barrel horse compared to junior. And to be honest, and I've said this before, I have way more confidence on diesel, who is a 5-year-old, than I ever did on junior, who has way more experience and I've owned for a significantly longer period of time. So like that is huge right off the bat. I think another thing that needs to be different is just, and I don't know if this is a little woo-woo, not even woo-woo, just like, I don't know. Just changing my mindset about like who I am as a rider. I really need to put my mind in the space of like, okay, if I was a professional barrel racer, or if I was a really successful amateur barrel racer, what would they be doing? How would they be thinking? Like when they're saddling up their horse, what are they thinking about? When they're about to go make a run, what are they doing? And what are the daily things, the daily thoughts that they have? Like what are they doing that's allowing them to get there? Because I think one of my problems in the past is I've always been like the timid, quiet, reserved person, and it doesn't work for barrel racing. For barrel racing, you need to be bold, you need to be like aggressive to a certain extent, and you need to be just a little wild and woolly. Like I need to let my hair down and just get after it. I really need to learn how to make that shift. To be honest, I hate the fact that I'm like the girl who's in a box and is very quiet and like just the little like girl that's in the corner who never surprises anyone, never raises any eyebrows. Like I know it's talking about like overall my personality, but also just like who I am in the arena. I really need to make a change there, because especially being paired with a horse like Diesel, he's very quiet and calm, and like to make a good barrel run, it doesn't work. That's one thing for like a Western pleasure horse. It's quite another thing for a barrel racer. I don't have to go crazy, but I definitely recognize that I do need to step it up a notch. Get out of my comfort zone. I'm so bad for not wanting to get out of my comfort zone, and that's definitely, out of anything, I think that is my problem. I have a hard time getting out of my comfort zone, but having my rear view, looking at how my barrel racing has gone in the past, I know now, like, you were struggling, but you were very much in your comfort zone in the past when you've done barrel racing. You needed to push yourself outside of your comfort zone in order to get to the next level. And that's something, I really need to work on. Kind of need to, like, when I put my ball cap on, when I step into the barn, when I swing a leg over my horse, I need to like make that identity shift into the Katrina, the barrel racer. Obviously the stakes are pretty low right now. I don't have any intention of hauling at all this summer, potentially into the fall or winter, but I'll definitely be looking at, like, come May 1st of next year, definitely starting to haul him. Right now it's just about getting him patterned and getting us comfortable working together in this new dynamic, because it is very different riding compared to some of the like reining style stuff that I've been doing up to this point. It is very different. So one will be to get him patterned, and then once we do that, pattern, add some speed, and then start hauling. Diesel has been hauled a little bit, but it's definitely going to be a learning curve for him. seeing all the sights and sounds of barrel races. I don't intend to rodeo at this point. I'm gonna stick to the jackpot scene. If you're not aware, rodeo, obviously they have all the events, cattle, roping, barrel racing, like all the things, huge crowd. Whereas jackpots, which I would be going under the Alberta Barrel Racing Association, jackpots tend to, one, have way better ground, usually don't have a crowd unless it's like a higher stakes jackpot. It's just a ton of barrel racers, and they have, what's really nice when you're training up one is they have what's called exhibitions, where you're not running for money. You can go in there, trot the pattern, and just let your horse see what's going on. We will definitely be doing that to start with before we ever consider running for any kind of money. But right now, yeah, it's just us in this arena. When the snow flies, I'm hoping I'm gonna start hauling to actually the indoor arena where we would potentially be competing, which would be, it's good, get them used to that environment outside of a competition setting, and go from there. We're a long way from there though. We're just, like, I was just tinkering with some stuff today. I definitely identify where we have some things to work on. Thankfully, he's very well broke, so it shouldn't take too much. Consider taking some lessons, that's a big one as well, and go from there. But in the meantime, we gotta work on Katrina, the barrel racer, the badass in the saddle, fearless, goes after it, rides hard, competes hard, like, let's go. Sometimes when I think about it, it's a little overwhelming. But one thing that I've tried to tell myself, and I don't know if this is just like making myself feel better about the situation, I'm like, God would not put this desire in my heart without the potential to be able to see it through. I like to think like that, but I also question, like, is that true? I feel like it would be a cruel joke for him to give me my passion about barrel racing without also giving me the ability to barrel race. Like, that feels cruel, right? And I like to think that God is not cruel like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think we'll end it there. I've rambled enough. We'll see you next time.